Alright, hey Material Girls, how are you today? I hope your day is going well. My name is T. If you're from TikTok, hey, thank you so much for following me. If you are following me for dental hygiene tips, then great. Thank you for coming to YouTube. If you can, just like, comment, and subscribe, of course, because I want to do more of these videos for you guys. But if you want to see more, get your wine or your drink, whatever you're drinking, and let's just chit chat, because every time I try to make this video like really formal, I end up not doing it. So let's just chill today. I'm in my onesie. I'm giving money, okay? Manifestation, okay? And we'll go from there, okay? Alright, so if you've been following me on TikTok and you've been interested in know about dental hygiene, then you know that I went to two schools in order to attain my associates in dental hygiene. I went to a city college, like a community college in my area in Brooklyn, New York, before I actually got my degree. So I got credits from that school and I applied to the dental hygiene program, and I didn't get in. Like, there was 60 seats and I literally was like, I think 2,035 out of the people who applied for those 60 seats. So there's always going to be a wait list for community colleges, so I would always suggest applying to universities as well. I know those schools cost way more money because they're private, but I definitely suggest applying to those schools because most of the time they don't have a wait list, because it's not a competition to get in. You either got the money or you don't, you know. And trust me, you could find the money. Get you a student loan, get you some, you might not even need student loans, you might actually be in the space to get a scholarship, a grant, you know, just look into those options for financial aid. I could barely afford college, honestly, and my family wasn't poor, we were decent middle class, but it's just, college is astronomically priced. It was $40,000 for me every year, and I boarded in for 2 years, so I ended up getting my degree at the University of New Haven in Connecticut, and from there I ended up, you know, moving back to New York, and that's where I actually started practicing hygiene. So I'm licensed in New York, and I'm licensed in Florida. I was in the process of getting licensed in Connecticut and New Jersey, but I didn't end up doing that, okay? So that's the answer to that question. Go for your dreams. Don't worry about what people are saying about it. If you get one door closing in your face, another door is opening, okay? Other doors will open, so don't even worry about it. Just continue to follow your dreams. If you have to move to a different state like I did and go out of state and go to another school, I did not know anyone in Connecticut. I had no friends and no family in Connecticut, not one cousin in Connecticut, okay? And I still fulfilled that dream. I'm living my dream. Hygiene has its ups and downs, but I still am so passionate about it, and it's afforded me the time and the money to do other things that I like to do, like TikTok, YouTube, bartending, all of that. So anyway, next question. So at City Tech, I took algebra, which was like the first level math, like math 101 basically. Biology has a lab with it. Most science classes have a lab with it. You don't get credit for the lab. Like when you look at your credits on your transcript, it's going to say 000 for credit. But in order for you to pass the science class, you have to take a lab, and you have to pass the lab. If you fail the, like, let's say you're taking biology and you fail the lab, but you get an A in biology, oh, you failed the whole class. So don't play yourself. Go to lab, get a lab partner, and get a study group. You know, this kind of ties into the question everyone keeps asking me, like, how did you do hygiene school? How did you do school? Like, I had a group of classmates who really helped me. Or if I didn't have a class, I had one girl who helped me while I was in City Tech, and she was grown. She was like 35. I was like 21. And we used to meet up at lunch, even outside of school. We used to go to like Popeyes and just like share notes with each other. Like, you have to find that one friend who's just gonna help you. That's all I can say. You have to step out. Even if you, like, I know some people don't like talking to people, but you live in a world where there's people. You're about to go into a career with people. There's no way for you to do this without talking to people. So you have to step out your comfort zone, get cool with people, and just really create a study group. If you like studying by yourself, then you need to find resources that are online, or like go to your local library. Like libraries are still very much a thing. Go to your library, try to study there. If you can't study in your house, which I know some people, it's like, it's just so noisy, or they don't feel comfortable, or they're lazy, go to a Starbucks, buy one drink for $4 and study there for hours on their Wi-Fi. Like, go to a library in your area. It's free to get a library card, or it's either free or cheap, like $5 to get a library card. Sit in the library for hours. Sit in your school library. Like, figure out a way to make your space compatible with how you maneuver, how you operate. If you know you're a quiet person and you don't like people, stay in the library. Live in the library. My friends and I used to call the library Club Lib, okay? Where you going? Club Lib. Where you going? Club Lib. Not live like Miami. Club Lib. The library, okay? That's where I stayed at. The library. Okay? Transcript. So it was biology lab, English 1, elements of sociology, which was sociology 101. I had anatomy 1. Anatomy 1 has a lab with it as well. I also took a math review class because I had remedial math, which I don't know if you guys know what remedial math is, but remedial math is the math where you're not that good at math and you didn't pass the entrance exam to college, so they basically calling you dumb, like, no funny shit. Like, they want to know what kind of math can you do, because the math we gave you, you don't know how to do it. So I'm like, I don't know how to do fractions. I barely know how to do geometry. Like, what? No. So they put me in that class. What did I do again? I got with the smarter kids. Like, it's not that I'm not smart, but I got with the kids who understood what was going on. So they would help me. They would put stuff together for me. I would get their homework from them. I was maneuvering. I was moving around. Okay. So I took a remedial math class. I needed to take that, but I didn't get credit for it. Whatever. And then I took voice and diction, which is speech. Most dental hygiene programs is going to require you to do a speech class. So there's really no way to get out of it. They either want you to do speech or something along that lines. Communications class, something like that. They'll let you know when you apply, or if you look on their website, they'll let you know what classes you need to take. At this school, I took anatomy 2, because usually with anatomy 1, you have to take anatomy 2. If you take biology 1, in most cases you have to take biology 2 as well. All of these science classes have a lab. Microbiology has a lab. I took that. I took nutrition. Nutrition is important for dental hygiene as well. You have to take nutrition. I got an A in nutrition, which was crazy because my nutrition teacher was like so mean and so rude, so nasty and so rude. But so yeah, you have to take nutrition because we have to tell the patients like why it's important to avoid sugary foods and carbohydrates if they want to prevent having cavities. Like, it makes sense. And then I took chemistry 101. There was no organic chemistry. There was no oral chemistry. There was no crazy chemistry. It was just chemistry, regular chemistry 101. What did I do in that class? Didn't know what was going on. Found me a study group. Found me one friend. Okay. Chemistry had a lab too. Found me one friend. And also, aside from finding friends, I also asked the professor, like, I would come to them before the exam, like, let them know, like, I'm having all this anxiety, like, I don't know if I understand what we were doing in the last class and today, like, can you just go over with me? And I would just come to them, like, very often, to the point that they knew my name, they knew me, so, and I just made sure I came to class on time, I participated. So when it came down to do my grade, I might have failed the test a little bit, but like, the teachers were so cool with me, the professors were so cool with me that they would kind of like bump my grade up a little bit, you know. I don't know if they still do that now, but it's like, just build a good rapport, build a good relationship with your professors, with the students around you, with your classmates, with your peers, because you never know what type of impression you're leaving on somebody. If you're really a nice person, like, and they see that you're fucking trying, like, if you're trying and you ask for extra credit, you're doing your shit, you trying, and you don't just like let yourself fail the class and then come like a week before the class is due, like, oh yeah, I'm starting to fail, can you help me? They're gonna be like, no, I sent you mad emails to try to get your grade back up. Like, no. So that's basically what I did. I didn't coast. I was determined. I just tried to study my best. I was asking people for help. I was going to every office in my school. I had to dispute a few grades before. Like, I'm that type of person where I dispute a grade. Like, why I got a 91? What's wrong with this answer that I put? Oh, okay. Fix that. Yeah. Like, that's the type of student I was at the time. So I wasn't like that in hygiene school at a certain point. I was over it. But yeah. So that is what I took at my city college, and those are all the prerequisites I needed until I applied for hygiene school. Didn't get in there, so I took my year off. Um, let's drink. Let's drink to that. So I took it upon myself to apply to schools outside of my area. I started applying to schools in Connecticut, New York, Florida, and all that. And then I just settled and decided to stay close to home because I was in a relationship at the time. And also, I was afraid to leave my family. I didn't know anyone in these new states that I was moving to except for Florida. And I felt like that was just so far away. Like, I was just afraid. I was afraid of having student loans. So much things that were fear based were holding me back. So once I applied to the University of Bridgeport in Connecticut. I applied to the University of New Haven in Connecticut. That's where I ended up graduating from. And then I applied to like two other, I can't remember them right now, but those are the two that I visited. University of New Haven in Bridgeport and University of New Haven in Connecticut are the two schools that I had visited that had accepted me and everything. And all the schools I applied to accepted me, but those were the two schools that gave me the most money. They gave me scholarship, they gave me grants and everything. So those were the two schools I chose. So once I got applied there, I found out I had to be a transfer student because technically they consider you a transfer student once you have done over, I think, like 10 credits. If you have done over 10 credits, you're considered a transfer student due to the fact that you're kind of already enrolled in college and you're just trying to go to a new college to finish your degree. So once I applied as a transfer student, I had a credit evaluation. So that is when I didn't even sit down with an advisor. I sent her my transcript through the transcript portal. Sometimes they want you to mail it sealed from the school, whatever. But she looked over my transcript through email, and we had conversations through email and through phone. That's how we had a conversation. And she basically let me know, like, hey, like, you have this and this amount of credits, and this is what can apply for dental hygiene if you want to do it here. This and this and this amount of classes is what you need left. And we can have you sit down with a dental hygiene advisor because there's different programs inside the school. So she was just like the admissions intake advisor. So she was like, once you decide that you want to be a student here, then we'll have you apply and sit down with a dental hygiene program advisor, and she could really like get into it and break down like the dental hygiene like prerequisite track, like where you would be falling into, because I wasn't coming in as a freshman. I had already basically did 2 years of school already, versus when you come into a school as a freshman, you start as a freshman. I was coming in as a junior. Like, I literally only had like a year and a half left, basically. Like, I only need to do dental hygiene courses, like the clinicals, the program. So anyway, so she sat down, she did that with me. I sat down with the dental hygiene advisor. I went up there, I visited the school. I was like, I love it here. Like, sign me up. When can I start? I'm trying to get to the bag. Like, I'm tired of waiting. Like, let me know what the fuck is up. Like, I ended up like loving the school, and I ended up staying there. I did not like Bridgeport for me. It wasn't anything personal. It just wasn't a school for me. So, you know, fast forward, now we're in the University of New Haven now, and we got all our credits done. We're hygienists, technically, even though we don't have a license and we have no experience, and we just finished the program. Yay. They took all the credits that I had from City Tech, so that helped me with the elective courses that I was going to have to take. I only had to take like 2 electives. So now we're going to go through my transcript from my whole degree, my AAS in dental hygiene. Okay? So I took history of art, intermediate algebra, level 1 math. I ended up taking philosophy while I was in University of New Haven. That was a elective. I took intro to psychology while I was at City Tech, and psychology. Once I was in the program, my first semester in hygiene school was crazy, okay? If you want me to, I can get into like my experience in hygiene school in depth, but hygiene school, I know I joke about it on TikTok a lot about how sucky it was, but hygiene school changed me, man. Like, I was such a hood, like, immature girl. When I left that school, I was a woman, okay? I had so much things happen to me personally, mentally, physically. Hygiene school really pushed me to the edge. Like, I literally almost committed suicide. Like, thinking about it, what is crazy. Like, I could have not been here. And I know that's really personal, but I just need you guys to know, like, just keep pushing. Do not give up. There is a purpose for you in this world. And there's somebody out there that loves you, and you don't even know it. So, just learn how to manage your stress better. Seek help. See a therapist. Speak to somebody about how you're feeling. Don't dismiss how you're feeling and think like, oh, I'm busy, it's okay, like, I'm gonna get through it. Like, really try to figure out what's going on. Is it something that happened to you when you were younger? Is it how you feel about yourself? Is it an insecurity? Like, what is it about? And it could be a list of things, you know, but just try to work through it one step at a time, because eventually you're going to get to a point where you have an emotional and a mental breakdown. Like, that is what I had in hygiene school, like, at least 2 or 3 times. Like, I cried every single day. And it wasn't because it was horrible or it was a bad experience. It was just the fact that it's so stressful. Like, they put all of this information for you in this, like, 18-month course. And it's like, you can't do all of this in 18 months. Like, it should be spread out. Like, it's just so much information. Like, I had so many quizzes. I had like 4 classes, right? And they would have like quizzes in the morning. So I would have like 2 classes where I had quizzes and had to study for them. And then 1 exam in the afternoon. And then I still had to go to clinic, which is where we actually treat patients, right? And then that's just Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's quizzes for other classes as well. And sometimes you're not just taking a dental hygiene class, you're taking like history. Like, I was still taking history in the middle of me taking my dental hygiene classes. Like, I was taking other classes, and it was so much to balance. It was so much to balance being like a new college student, being in a new state. It was so much to balance like having a boyfriend at the time. All this information to memorize, because that's really what hygiene is. Like, hygiene is memorization. It's like military, like, because when you walk into clinic, you can't have on earrings. You cannot have like anything showing. Your tattoos cannot be showing. You have to be in your scrubs with white shoes on, or whatever your school requires you, but usually it's white scrub shoes. Not no, you know, or sneakers, white plain sneakers. With white socks, and they go around and they check your socks and make sure your socks is right. And if your socks is not right, they sending you out, so you losing credit for that day. And mind you, you graduate but depending on your hours. So if you out here not having your uniform together, you lost a day of clinic, and clinic is only 4 days a week. So it's like, you behind now, and you got a zero. You got a 0 for the day because you don't got socks. Like, that's dumb. Like, it was just a lot. Like, be on top of your shit. Like, and it was just like trying to balance like quizzes, studying for quizzes, and you studying for quizzes from different classes. And it's like, all of it ends up going together, but at the time, it was just so overwhelming. Like, school, dental hygiene clinic program, the clinicals was so stressful. Like, you can ask a nurse, you can ask a doctor, you can ask a surgeon, you can ask anyone who is taking something that is course intensive, that having a program that is 24 months or 36 months or something that's just short, and as soon as they tell you you can't work before you apply to a program, you know what the fuck is up. Anyway, so the first semester I had comps with applications. That was a computer class. I had oral facial structures. Oral facial structures is where you learn about every part of the face and the neck, and like all the glands and the parts of the tongue. And you would think that you don't need to know about that kind of stuff, but you're working with somebody's head, neck, and mouth. You need to know about that. And that's where you learn teeth, like different shapes of teeth and the size of the teeth and the numbers, the teeth numbers, and all of that. And then dental hygiene concepts 1 with lab. That's my clinical class. And then I had competition with lecture. That was English 101. So that was my first semester. It went well. I got good grades. You know, I got all my credits. Everything was fine. Then the next semester, so that was fall 2014. Okay. And then the next semester was spring 2015, and I had intro to biochemistry. That wasn't that hard. Like I said, what you gotta do, get your study group, get your friends, be on top of your shit. If you don't know what's going on, go to the professor early. Like, when are your office hours, professor? I need to speak to you. Like, study group, get a friend. Like, Quizlet, check.com, like, try. That's all I could say, try. And the teacher will see you trying, and I'm not going to say they're just going to pass you, but if they see you trying, even if you're failing, and you participate in class, they know who you are, they know you, they are not going to let you fail if they know that you're about your shit, and they know that you're here to get it, you really want this degree. They're not going to do that to you. And I would dare somebody to try to deny me. I'm going straight to the science program board director. And I'm like, excuse me, Mr. Mike in intro of biochemistry was being very discriminatory to me. And this is my grades. And I've been trying. And I sent him this email and that email. Keep everything documented. Okay, you're good in that. Radiology with laboratory. That's the class where you learn about x-rays. You learn about the actual x-ray head. You learn about the history of x-rays. You learn about photons and radions and how they clash together in order to make radiation. That class is so fucking boring. I was falling asleep. I almost failed that class. Another class I had to beg. I had to beg. Okay? Almost failed. Literally almost failed. But study group, friends, one friend at least that you could fuck with, study groups, professor begging. Okay? Yeah. Dental hygiene concepts 2 with a lab. That's my clinic class. Clinic. I have to make another video about clinic. I can't get into clinic right now. It's going to be too long of a video. This is already long. Periodontology, the study of the structures of the gums, the bone, and the structure of periodontal disease. That's what periodontology is. So I took that. Yeah, almost failed, but I passed. So, and then I told y'all I took nutrition. So that, I don't know why that's there twice, but yeah, nutrition. Then summer 2015, session 1. Yeah, 6 weeks. You have classes in 6 weeks. You think that you're going to have a summer? No. You're not going to have a summer. Summer 2015, session 1. Dental hygiene concepts 3 with lab. Okay? So you have your lecture and then you have your lab. And if you don't pass either one of those, you don't get the credit. Don't you love that? Oh my gosh. You fail lab, but you doing amazing in clinic. You fail. It don't matter. You gotta take it all over. And the thing about hygiene school is if you fail one class, you fail it all. You gotta start over. Okay? okay? If you fail one of these core classes, the clinic, dental hygiene concepts, if you fail, which for them is a 75, if you fail, sorry, I'm saying, if you fail, guess what? You gotta start over. And who paying for you to start over? Oh, okay. Yeah. Hard as fuck, so much pressure, but just pray through it. Find outlets to get you through it. Listen to music. Get a friend group. Vent and cry on the phone to your mom or someone you trust and move on. Dental hygiene concepts 3 with lab. And then dental materials with lab. That's where we actually learn how to make like casts and molds. We learn how to make night guards, bleaching and whitening trays. We learn how to make casts. I don't have one of my casts with me, but I should have like brought it with me. I left it in New York at my mom's house. I don't have one with me, but that's where you learned all of that. That course is only 6 weeks. You have quizzes, you have tests, and you get graded on your cast as well. You get graded on how your bleaching trays look. Stressful. That's what if I could describe hygiene school at the clinical part, stressful. Just fucking stressful. But you'll get through it. Trust me. So that was session 1. I don't think I screenshotted my fall, but I know my fall had to be pharmacology. I was taking another clinic, dental hygiene concepts, but at this point we were doing rotations. So we go to whatever rotation they chose for us. Everybody was supposed to do 4 rotations. So like every 6 weeks you change your rotation. So like one place was like a school where we would go and do like public dental care for like little babies and kids and stuff. And then we did one with a shelter and like getting like, why my camera do me dirty like that? Why just cut off like that? Like I'm looking back at the footage like I'm missing a whole like paragraph. Anyway, so basically clinic rotations were broken down at the end of it. I had clinic rotation 4 was broken down into 4. Okay. So we had a local school we went to give community dental care to kids from like, I think it was kindergarten to 5th grade. And then we also had a rotation called Stay Well, which was the community center, which was a community dental center. So you were seeing everything. You were seeing anything and everything. Anybody who had Medicaid, basically. And then we had Groton Naval Base in Connecticut. The Naval Base was where we went and saw the naval sailors who wanted to get dental care done. That was cool to see. Some of the sailors who had some of their jaw missing because they did tobacco so long that ended up causing oral cancer to their jaw, and they had the jaw removed. Yes, I was cleaning teeth on half a jaw. So you see that kind of stuff. Or you have soldiers and sailors who are schizophrenic. You know, they're not having a manic episode, but they are on medication and kind of a little bit unstable. So they kind of just like have moments where they say things that don't make sense. So that was Groton, and then we have one more. I cannot remember for the life of me what it was right now, what the other rotation was, but it was like, I think it was a shelter. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. It was a shelter. It was just outreach at a women's center. So it was women and children's shelter. So we would go there. We would have conversations with them about the importance of dental care at any stage in your life, either being a child or an adult. During pregnancy, it's really important to make sure you have dental care during pregnancy. And making sure you have dental care regardless if you have money or not. So we would go there, we would speak to them, we would give them free toothbrushes. Like, I loved it. Like, I didn't love getting up early in the morning on Saturdays and stuff like that for events that we had to do on the side, but I liked clinical rotations because it actually showed me somewhat of what the real world was like. Because when you're in clinic, you're just in this bubble where you have these patients you're seeing who, some of them, most of them, are your friends, your family. There are other students from the school. There are people from the local community who have normal, healthy mouths. That you might not see a lot of things, and you need those credits in order to finish. Like, they give you a list of things you have to do in order to have like clinic requirements, and most of those clinic requirements require things that you won't get with a regular person, like a night guard is something similarly normal, but let me think of something. A pregnant patient, you have to have at least one pregnant patient. That's hard to find if you're not in that type of situation, but some type of practice for a pregnant patient. Okay. Seeing a child, seeing a 2-year-old. If you don't have any 2-year-olds in your family, you don't know any 2-year-olds. Like, it was hard to find patients for me. But like I said, I will go through my clinical rotation, experience, break it down. I will go through that in another video. I will also discuss boards exams, studying for boards, how that was for me, what I used to study, and all that. What other videos is coming up? How my first day was as a hygienist in the real world practicing, and just like what my first check looked like all of those things. Like, whatever you want to know, please leave a comment below. I'm just so excited to do this YouTube journey. I'm really trying to be consistent, for real. But my main thing is trying not to think of it so much. Like, right now I'm in my relaxed house clothes. I think that works for me, versus trying to be all formal and like put on a whole outfit. Like, I might just have to give y'all like real raw me. You know, I'm gonna put on some concealer, but that might be just what I have to do. So yeah, I just wanted to add this part in because I don't know, it ain't record. So yeah. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay blessed, because life is crazy. But I'll see you next time. Bye.